Hello, 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 hello. I'm so sorry I didn't do this video last week. I ended up going on holiday, come back, and I've got a chest infection, I think. So, sorry I've not been on top form. But here is the information that I said I would give out about using reward systems effectively. So there was a question about, I really want to use a sticker chart. It's never worked. I don't know how to get them to, I don't know how to use it properly. Nothing ever works with them. I see this a lot. So rewards are so effective, but only if they're done in a certain way. I don't want to say correct way because there is no one right way for you and your children. You've got to find what works, and unfortunately sometimes it's trial and error. So the first thing I would say, it does not need to be a sticker chart. In fact, I would probably avoid sticker charts because they can so easily go wrong. First of all, they can rip them up and you don't know how many stickers they had. It's really hard to keep track of. It always starts really well and really quickly they go quite downhill. Some children though do respond to them really well. So if they do, great. I would say 9 times out of 10, they work for a bit, don't go so well. So don't think about reward systems as just that sticker chart. Loads of other ways you can do it. And I'll come to that in a minute. So just bear in mind, any of these reward systems do not need to be done by day. In fact, do not do that. Do not do, you were good on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Never do it by day. It doesn't work because what happens is, if on Monday, Tuesday, they brush their teeth, for example, and then Wednesday, they had a paddy about it and they didn't brush their teeth. What we gonna do now? They have a meltdown, the whole thing's over. Reward is lost. So never do it by day of the week. Okay, number 1. Number 2, decide together what it is that you want to see. So you can kind of influence that conversation a little bit. But if it's they won't brush their teeth at night, have a little chat about it. But I really need you to brush your teeth. So actually, why don't we come up with a system together? Or if it's much more general, have a conversation about it. And just what does good behaviour look like? Being good isn't going to, those words mean nothing to them. You need to be specific and decide it together. What is the behaviour that you want to see? Walking, holding my hand along the street. Talking quietly when we're at the dinner table. Brushing your teeth for 1 whole minute every day. Or maybe you've got rid of the everyday, but you see what I mean? It has to be really specific, and they might not be able to articulate that, so you might need to kind of push them into that a little bit. So be really specific about what you do want to see. Use the language of what you want, not what you don't want. No shouting. That's not something you can reward. You need to say talking quietly. You get a reward for that. So if it is running down the street, instead of putting on there not running, that's negative. You want that to be a positive thing. Walking nicely, holding my hand. So make sure that whatever you're putting as your thing you're rewarding has a positive language. Timeline of these reward systems is really important. How much can your child really handle? So if we think about how long they could sit down for, if they're 3, tops 2 to 3 minutes. If they're 5, tops 5 minutes. I tend to think of it as age because it's just a bit easier. If they can't sit for more than 2 minutes, they're not going to be able to do a reward system that lasts 2 weeks. So you need to think about how realistic is it. So for every 3 things in the jar, you get your reward. If it's still too long and they're not managing that, bring it down to 2, bring it down to 1, and then you build it back up again. If they can realistically go for 7, 10, 15, 20 things because they're older, absolutely do that. But just be really mindful right at the beginning of any reward system, make it achievable quickly, because then you'll see the rewards for yourself. It's got to be manageable for you though as well. So when you're deciding what the behaviour is, also decide what you're rewarding with. Is it a toy that they really want? Is it a sticker book? Is it 5 extra minutes before bed? Whatever it is, but it has to be something that they want, otherwise they're not going to do it. But it also has to be manageable for you. So I have had children being like, I want to go to Disney World. Amazing, that's awesome. One day maybe we will do that, but that's not realistic, and explain to them why and help them to come up with some more realistic things, because it needs to be manageable. We don't want you spending tons of money here. Consistency is the last thing. You must be consistent. Please don't give up. I know it's really hard and sometimes it feels like it's not working and you might need to make a couple of adaptations to it, but don't give up. Be consistent. If you see them do it, give them that reward. If sometimes it's hard to remember, they might remind you. Always follow it up. Let them see you do it. Okay, so if you're out and about and you owe them the reward or them whatever it is, make a little tally on your hand or something. Oh, you've got 5 things. I'm going to put the 5 things on. So in terms of what the actual system could look like, the one that I like the best is actually marbles in a jar, or something visual that they can see. And sticker jars do that, but you risk what I said at the beginning, them getting ripped up, and it's quite hard to manage. It sounds simple, but that's a whole other conversation. Marbles in a jar is one that I would do. So buy a bag with marbles, get an empty jar, draw a line on it, and you could say up to here. That's probably for older children. Or numbers. Every 3 marbles, you'll get an extra 2 minutes on your game, an extra 2 minutes at the park, or whatever it is. You will have to keep a tally of this. So think about something that's achievable. Or say for every line on the jar, you're going to get a toy from the news agent. I don't know, B&M or something. You're going to get another Pop-It. So you could draw lines on the jar. If you go for the whole jar, just be warned, it's going to take a long time to get there. So that's what I'm saying about making it at the timeline of things manageable. 3 marbles, short lines. Keep it really, really simple. And then you can build up to doing, you've got to get the whole jar to get this. Other reward systems, that's very individual ones. You can also run alongside to encourage it is family ones. So that can be bigger. So individual ones, keep it short, keep it small, keep the timeline short, keep the rewards quite small and manageable and quickened, so they're constantly getting some reward to begin with. Bigger ones can be for family, where it involves teamwork. So every time somebody puts their cutlery back in the drawer when they've washed and dried it, a marble goes in a jar. And when the whole one's full, we all get to do something together. So that's one where you can create a bigger reward system. There's there's so much I could talk about, and I could waffle on for hours on this one. So there's a lot of information there. If you want, I will try and make a little document I could put out and put into the group, which has all this on, so you don't have to keep rewatching this video, and maybe some examples on there. Excuse me. Or if you've got a reward system at home and it's not working, this is a safe space to share that and go, I've tried this, you know, it didn't work, and maybe we can have a conversation about it, because sometimes it's really hard for me to respond online. It is much easier to talk in person, so we could do messaging or, you know, FaceTime or whatever, and I can help you individually with your reward system and go, what can we do to make it work for you? Because sometimes it does feel like, well, I've tried that. Wait, you're telling me something I already know. But it will be easier for me to help you if we talk about it in person. So if you do want any help specifically that this video hasn't answered, please comment on this or message me, or we can set up a call. So yeah, apologies. I look terrible because I'm not feeling great, but I did promise I would do this like a week ago. So there we go. I really hope this is helpful. Yeah, I hope to connect with you all soon. Cheers. Bye.